Hey y'all, welcome back to Voices of the Body, the podcast. My name is Love Ashley Elaine, and I will continue to be your guide as we journey on this journey of taking care of ourselves, really allowing ourselves to feel and wonder and all of the things when it comes to our mind, our body, and our soul. This episode, I'm going to tap in with you all on my journey so far here in Cambodia. It's different, but it's lovely. And I think the time frame of me being here, all the things. So, you know the vibes. Prepare your mind, body, and soul as we tap into this episode. And we are back. So go ahead and find that comfortable seated position, bringing your feet flat on the ground or sitting in a nice, comfortable seated space. Maybe laying down if you're driving. Like I always say, you can come back to this. And we're gonna do a very, very small version of left-right nostril. So go ahead and bring your left thumb and your pinky finger out, almost like you're doing cowabunga, and bring all of your other fingers except for your ring finger. So your ring finger and your pinky finger should be together, and then your thumb finger out. We're going to place our thumb onto the left side of our nose, closing off that nostril. And we'll take a nice big inhale through the right nostril. We'll take the ring finger and the pinky finger, closing off the right nostril, removing the thumb and releasing the air through the left nostril. We'll inhale through the left nostril. When you come to the top of your breath where you can't take in any more air, we'll close off the left nostril, opening up the right nostril as you exhale. Inhale through the right nostril, taking in all the air that you can take in, closing off the right nostril and allowing our exhale through the left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril, closing off the left nostril with our thumb, opening up the right nostril as we exhale. Inhale through the right nostril, closing off the right nostril as we exhale through the left nostril. And we'll release as we've created balance in the body through our breath. And just notice how you're feeling, sensing anything that may be arising within the body, within the mind. And taking inventory of how you felt before the left right nostril breath work as opposed to now. Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel more balanced? Do you feel more at ease? Do you feel more anxious, right? Every breathing exercise or every method of breath to help with the body may not work for you in a specific time frame, right? I believe that every part of us, the journeys that we go through, are going to require something different. And take another big breath in and exhale. One more nice big breath in and exhale. And we will be right back. And we are back. So I wanted to really talk about just my month here so far in Cambodia and things that have come up for me personally and internally, but also really allowing myself the space to tap into goodness, right? I think when we lack duality and perspective, we allow one perspective to be it, right? That's it, that's solid. It's supposed to be this one thing, this one way, the way I thought or envisioned, all of those things. But patience is a very real thing, right? Faith is a very real thing. Triggers are also a very real thing. Your thoughts can be a very real thing if you allow yourself to believe every single thing that is true. So there's a scripture in the Bible, Hebrews 8, that says, when God speaks of a new covenant, it means he has made the first one obsolete. It is now out of date and will soon disappear. So I'm constantly reminding myself that yes, I'm in a new place. Yes, I can feel that there's new things happening. There's a new version of me emerging. There's new opportunities emerging. There's new perspectives that are emerging, right? Yet also giving myself grace in that transition and that transformation space, right? I think this is probably literally technically episode 5 of that series. Um so the timing of me coming here was actually really perfect. Um Here in Cambodia, they celebrated their Kumar New Year, and it starts on April 14th. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I could hear the town, I can see the town from where I'm at, but I can also hear them partying, their music, chanting, all of it. It's actually really beautiful. So I was able to celebrate with the staff who now feel like family here at the resort that I'm staying at to teach at. And just learn more about their culture and why this new year is important. It's really celebrating rest. It's celebrating making it through like a harvest season for the farmers, which then becomes like a whole thing for the whole entire country, right? So I also got to engage in a prayer and blessing ceremony with a monk on the land, the property that I'm staying at also, which was very, very moving. Um, I'm not a person that's like putting up vexes and stuff towards other people's religions. I actually love learning about other religions. To the point where I thought I was going to seminary school and kind of still want to. But I love learning about religion. Just because I also live a yogic lifestyle doesn't mean that I do not claim Christianity. Um, I think I've been on, like, once I became a yoga teacher, there was a really hard journey with that, right? Because of constantly listening to other people's opinions and what yoga really is, right? And learning, like having to do a lot of learning for myself about what that is. So since I've been here, I've been able to really like experience um the people through who I'm on the property with. And I think that's magical in itself because I get to learn like the way they run business also, which is really cool because I'm very business oriented. Um so that's pretty cool. There's been a lot of space for me to have downtime, right? So yes, I came here to teach yoga. My schedule is a class at 7 a.m. and a class at 5 p.m. Um, can't really control when people want to take a holiday or vacation. They call it holiday here, right? So, how do you maneuver, right? When something is when you're presented with something, right? So like the opportunity was to teach yoga, right? There's a pay that I get, there's things that I don't have to worry about, all the shebang, all the shaboos, all of it, right? What do you do when you're expecting to do one thing, right? And it shows up a little different, right? This is your declaration to a new start, a new life, a new all these things, right? What do you do when that thing doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like? Because arriving isn't just arriving into a space physically, right? It's arriving internally. So there was a lot that I had to work through when I got here. And I'm grateful for that space, right? Because I feel like any last minute lingering healing that I needed to do or behavior patterns that I needed to release, I was kind of put in a place to work through those things, right? So the mornings that I didn't have a class to teach, what did I do? Taught myself, had my own asana practice, had my own meditation space, had my own space to just be still, right? I still made sure I stayed dedicated to myself, the resort, the time, um, all of those things. So I was still getting up and coming to the yoga shala at 7 a.m. And really allowing that space to be for myself, right? If you follow me on Instagram, you see there's like these really cute swings all over the place. That in itself is therapy, both and that in itself will make you do a lot of extra digging, right? And everybody's not ready for that. Everybody's not ready for that space where you're like secluded, right? This is a different kind of isolation. And I think I did a episode last season on isolation, right? I've been like reworking through some of that. Um it the space allows you, if you have the worth all, to shift perspective, right? Because if you cannot shift your perspective, if duality is not a thing that you believe in, then this is not going to work for you, right? You'll stay stuck in a mindset that is going to, no matter where you go, you're always going to have that same mindset. This land is too beautiful. It feels very sacred. Like I can feel a connection under my feet with it. I can feel a connection energetically around me with it. I can feel that there is something here for me, right? There is a new beginning that is here for me that I cannot fathom. Like I can see it, but I also believe that it's a lot bigger than what I see, a lot bigger than what I feel. So if if what I see, if what I feel and what I've prayed for are worth me taking a month or 2 months to really integrate myself into the energy of this land, really work with myself in releasing whatever behaviors, thought patterns, um, traumas, triggers, all of those things that I came here with, right? I owe it to myself and my prayers in this land to really allow myself to, okay, we're going to take that 7 a.m. time slot and we're going to do our own asana. We're going to journal. We're going to allow whatever is coming up to come up. We're going to work through it. We're going to cry if we need to. We're going to laugh if we need to. We're going to FaceTime the best friend if we need to. We're going to text Michelle if I need to. Like, we're going to do all the things that we need to, because your belief of who you are and what you're worthy of is also going to show up in that space of patience, right? um Being here has is also, um I haven't taken my depression pills. I've been checking in on myself, and I've been checking in on my thoughts. And the last time I took a depression pill may have been like the first and the second, maybe third day I was here, just because of repetition and maybe even a little fear, right? Of having those reoccurring thoughts that I would normally have. Um, I've really grown into attunement with my body and understanding my thoughts when those heavy thoughts start to come in. And a lot of the times it's when I don't take them, or like some really hard stuff is pressing on me. I don't believe that any of the deeper healing work that I've done since I've been here, just a month. It feels longer because I've done a lot of work already, a lot of work. Um, but I feel like if I stayed in the States, I probably I wouldn't be in the mental and energetic space that I'm in now. Like my spirit feels renewed. Um I feel alive. I don't have some of the pressing thoughts that I used to have. Whew. Sorry, y'all. Give me a second. And even like one day, I knew I needed to cry. And I kind of stopped myself because it's like, well, Ashley, no, like you like being here. You love being here. Like it's not the place. And I had to like talk to myself. And then myself replied and was like, no, it's not the place. You're still shedding, you're still releasing. So I allowed myself to cry. I put on some worship music, and literally the minute I put it on, my throat locked up. It was like, oh, okay. All right. And God was just like, yeah, no, let that go. Give that to me because it's over. Like, you've been praying for it to be over. It's over. Like, all of it is over. My dreams have been lit. My dreams have been very lit. A lot of metaphoric dreams of things that I'm releasing or have released, literally up to the day. Um and things that are like manifesting, things that are coming. So, yeah, it's been it's been lit. My dreams have been lit. Um Man, like it's gorgeous out here, and I'm grateful even for the flies that keep flying in front of my face right now. Um to be out here and to really give myself that yes and be able to let go. Was it easy? No, because I miss my baby boy. Like I'm missing his birthday, his 10th birthday. But we talk every day. Just about every day. Because the time difference is a little much. Um yeah. I think another thing when we're like in that physical space that we've desired. So, okay, let me back up. My church started so my church had uh, a super Saturday, and the prayer force team, which I'm on the prayer force team with my church, we like in but anybody, right? It wasn't just the prayer force team. It was for the whole church. Like the whole church could have showed up this Saturday and just like communed in like a legit hour of prayer, right? So I remember that I had been praying for two things. I'd been praying for God to restore my marriage, heal my husband, and to move out of the country, like to actually live in another country. And I'm praying, I'm like doing my thing. And once I came to a space of being able to like move, coming back into myself, well, I sat there and like just meditated on it and just kind of like soaked myself in the energy in the room and the spirit, right? Because the spirit was lit that day. The spirit was lit that day. Um, I was I got up and I sat in my chair and just continued to like soak in the spirit and just what was flowing in the room. And this lady comes and taps me on the shoulder, and she says, I kept walking past you because I was sitting on the floor while I was praying. She said, I kept walking past you while I was praying. And every time I walked past you, God told me to tell you yes. She said, I don't know what you're praying for, but God said yes. And I just bursted out crying. I remember I was on my way to my grandmother's house afterwards, and I got to her house and I said, Granny, I don't know what's about to happen, but I believe it's going to be big. And I said to her, I said, it's either going to be my marriage being restored or I'm moving out of the country. And she was just like, y'all know Granny is my baby. That's my best friend. So I had to let, from that moment on, things to unfold. And when I did, that's when everything unfolded, right? Literally down to the wire of me coming here. I think the biggest part of that was I had to release my marriage. I had to release my husband. And that was the biggest part of this journey. Like, even coming here, I still had like maybe two tears left to shed for him. And then I instantly had a dream one night where all the energy I was calling back to myself, everything that belonged to me, even if I didn't know what it was that I was missing, that I had gave, right? Because there's like those surface things that I know I gave. There's some of those deeper things that I know I gave, but then there's like hidden things that I know I gave. Hidden things that I gave that I didn't know were taken, right? I don't know why I'm sharing this, but I had a dream last night that, and Mercury just went retrograde, right? Circling back to the scripture that I shared, when God speaks of a new covenant, it means he has made the first one old, right? I had to remember the prayers that I've been praying, right? And before this trip, I had a revelation, and I think God allowed something to happen for me to realize what the prayer that I prayed and the lady said that God said yes to is now connecting to where I am now. I believe that was in October. October was lit. October was very lit. God, just like last year was just lit. Um, so even in like getting here, I would tell, like, when I got here, I kept telling my best friend, I was just like, I feel like I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. And what that was also was like me like always living in this place of like things just constantly happening, and it's like, no girl, like you've elevated, like, yeah, the other shoe that's dropping is all of the things that you're releasing, because now you have the space to authentically release them, right? Like, I'm in a space where I can literally be with myself to release them. So the dream I had last night was that I was given back everything that was taken from me. And I didn't even know, like, in the dream, I was like, oh, I didn't even know, like, this stuff was gone. I didn't even know this stuff was missing. And when I woke up after that dream, so the stuff was given back to me. And two of the guys that work here at the resort, they were in my dream and had already like gathered all my stuff and packed it all up for me and took it to my house. And somebody was asking me in the dream, oh, well, what are you going to do with all your stuff? How are you going to get it to where you need to go? And I turned around to answer them. And by the time I turned around to answer them, the two guys here at the resort that were in my dream were already like loading the truck and packing it up and was like, we'll take it to the house for you. And I was just like, oh. So for some reason, like, I remember jumping up out of my dream and just smiling. And the only thing that came to my mind was renewal, right? And I was texting with a friend this morning and was like telling her about the dream. And I said, I feel renewed. I feel restoration. I feel supported to be able to now recode and reconnect and invigorate, and like all of those rewords, right? Mercury is in retrograde. So I share all this to say, like, what you prayed for is also like waiting on you, but it's not going to be like you got to give yourself space to still transition, right? Um I definitely know that I'm going to be living here. Like, I'm going to be living in Cambodia. That I know for sure. When I start venturing out soon, I like a place came to mind that I wasn't even considering. I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it. God is never going to put you somewhere where you're not called to be, right? When we think about purpose, it's going to serve your needs, God's needs, and your wants and his wants for you. Because authentically, he's placed them in you to want them, right? So you want luxury. He's like, cool, I got you. I like, there's some things that I need you to want, but there's also a journey that you have to go on to get them. Right. Man, this view is beautiful. This view is beautiful. I said I wanted to travel and teach yoga and do my podcast and really allow myself to be open to do all the things, all the things. Like, there was an early childhood um team here at the resort a couple days ago. They're like the DCPMP if you're in Jersey, or the DIFUS wherever you are. I think DIFUS is pretty universal. The people that I don't want to say the people that take kids, because they don't really take kids. Once I really learned what DIFUS is, uh, but whatever that is in your state or country, right? I met that version of them here, and they are starting to write out what it looks like for the country, for Cambodia, not the towns and villages, for Cambodia, what it looks like to have an early childhood program. Y'all know how I feel about the babies. So I'm trying to weasel my way into that as well. Um but yeah, it's been quite a experience here already, and I'm excited to see what else comes. I'm excited to see how things continue to unfold. I'm excited to see all the things. Um I'm excited to be able to celebrate the new year here. These people are amazing. Like, the people that I work with here at the resort are so friendly, so cool. They want to tell you everything about the land. They want to show you everything about the land. It's so calming here. Like, sometimes I have moments where I'm like, should I be doing something else? And they're just like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Oh, I'm like, "I'm good." Um they're interested in everything. Like, they're smart, they're talented. There's like people I work with, they sing, they see the microphone when I set up to do my podcast, and they're like, hey, like, how do you get that, how do you do, like, they want to learn, they want to know. And I love that energy. I love that energy. I'm helping them with their English just by talking to them, and they're teaching me Khmer, which is the language here in Cambodia. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. I hope this episode blessed y'all a little bit, right? Y'all know I didn't even expect to cry. Like, when I did the intro, I went and meditated afterwards, and I think it's a completely different episode, but it's cool because we just flow. Yeah. Take a deep breath in and release. Yeah, so stay tuned. If you do not follow me on Instagram, to continue seeing my journey, go to my Instagram, which is the Creative Black Yogini. And you can follow Voices of the Body, the podcast. I'm doing a lot of rebranding, so don't go to my website. Period. Don't go to my website. It won't be there. Yeah. Doing a lot of rebranding. So, yeah, even with that, right? To all my entrepreneurs, it's okay to take a pause. It's okay to rebrand the business because, again, when God is making things new, he's going to start with you. So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of rebranding. I will be launching my yoga mentorship program. So look out for that. That's not going to affect the rebranding. That's actually a part of the rebranding. Yeah, so that will be starting in July. Yeah. So I love you all for free. Until next time, take care.